Hey, you guys, good morning. Welcome into our first Manifested Mondays. I'm dual streaming, so if I'm looking over here, I'm on Instagram. If I'm looking over here, I'm over on Facebook. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. My name is Jocelyn. I am so excited to bring up this topic for our conversation this morning. If you're finding this video recording on YouTube, you can find the links to both Instagram and Facebook in the description here. So today we're going to jam on habits, you guys. Habits, not just physical habits. Like sometimes we think of, like, I'm going to give you some really good examples here today, but we're going to talk about habits in our mind as well. Okay, our internal habits. So our identity-based habits. Here's a really good example, in my opinion, really good example of habits. Okay, so somewhere along the lines, somebody told me that I have really bad teeth. Okay, like sounds like a little bit of a funny example, but hear me out. Okay, so somewhere along the lines, I developed this identity of somebody who had bad teeth. Okay, what does that mean? Every time I go to the dentist, I have a new cavity, those sorts of things. What were my habits as somebody who had bad teeth? Okay, I don't exactly know where I got this habit from. Maybe it was like literally when I was little and I went to the dentist and they said, wow, you have bad teeth. So I began to understand that I just have bad teeth. I just accepted that as reality. I accepted this idea that I always have new cavities, like da 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 da. And what happened then when I accepted that identity or that belief that I had bad teeth is that I had habits. I developed habits of somebody who has bad teeth. For example, not flossing my teeth every day. Right? Of not swishing or doing a coconut oil pull every day. You know, of course I brush my teeth. I'm not gross, don't worry. But I could have brushed them more, right? So I just wanted to kind of put this personal perspective on you guys. And this could be anything, okay? So for example, I'm going to use the example of a child in school when they are young and they struggle for some reason at math. They're just struggling with this concept. And somebody outside of them says, why are you not getting this? You are so bad at math or something like this. They develop this identity that they are not good at something. Therefore, they show up in a way. They continue to identify themselves as, oh, I just suck at math. So maybe you're somebody like this. What happens when they develop this identity is, I'm bad at math. They continue to flunk tests. They continue to not try. They continue to not study because they're kind of like, oh, what's the point anyway? Or like, I'm so bad at math, I'm never going to get these concepts. Interesting perspective, right? So what happens when, let me see, another identity-based habit is somebody who is trying to lose weight. Okay. Wanting to lose weight is not a sustainable model because the identity didn't change, right? If you continue to identify as someone who is losing weight, nothing's going to shift, right? Change losing weight with any habit you're wanting to shift, right? So it's not until you develop a new identity, is what I'm trying to say here, that you're really truly going to start to shift. You're going to start to embody this new way of existing before anything will actually change. That's what needs to happen first. So with the dentist, for example, my own personal experience, I, for some reason, had this identity that my teeth were always bad. Therefore, I had these like shitty dental habits that, you know, I could have shifted at any time, but I didn't have the awareness. I didn't have the awareness that I was creating these problems. I was creating these habits. Okay, so it's not until I actually totally manifested a holistic dentist. And you guys that are newer to these concepts, manifestation doesn't need to be really anything mystical. Okay, so for some reason people have this like mystical perception that, oh, I'm like doing magic over here, black magic, manifesting things. Manifestation is literally just becoming aware of something that was there the whole time, but my awareness couldn't see it. So in other words, I found this holistic dentist here in Costa Rica. And I like painted the picture in my mind before I found it. I literally, like, if you guys know, like I also did this with Andy, like anything like coming to Costa Rica alone as a single mom, like you need to create the idea in your mind first before you will see it in the physical world. Have you ever heard it? Like some people like, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. It's backwards. I'll believe it when I see it, right? I'll see it when I believe it is actually what should be happening there. I'll see it when I believe it. I believed that there was a dentist out there in Costa Rica that uses essential oils over synthetics, that takes care of their clients, that has just this holistic approach that sees the body as a whole, the teeth as part of the whole ecosystem of the body. And I totally found it, manifested it. Okay. And so it's not until I went there and had this realization that, holy moly, I've been identifying as someone who has bad teeth for so long. And so I've been, along with that, having these bad habits of not brushing my teeth every time I eat, not flossing every night, not oil pulling as much as I should be with tea tree oil, those sorts of things. Okay. And therefore I kept creating more of the same. But she gave me this great routine that I had been asking for dentists from dentists for like ever. But of course, holistic dentists are where it's at. And I'm so, so grateful. But she gave me this solid routine. And I was like, you know what? I am now everything. Now it makes sense to me that I have been identifying as that old version of me, and I don't want to be that anymore. So I'm going to take these new habits and make them my own. I am going to change my identity, and I am now somebody who has great teeth. What do my habits consist of? What does somebody who has great teeth do? They brush their teeth every time they eat. They're like those sorts of things. It sounds kind of basic, maybe kind of basic, elementary to some of you, but I hope that you can see through this and you can put your own, great teeth into this scenario and recognize, how am I identifying through something that I'm not necessarily happy with? I want you guys to see that you could actually be creating, and you probably are, you are creating this situation in your life that's happening over and over and over again because the way you see it. And then the way you see it is causing these habits, these identity-based habits. Okay, so it's not until we develop this new identity within ourselves. I am now somebody who doesn't have bad teeth. Right? I'm just that person. If you're somebody, it's not until we develop these new identity-based habits and truly embody this way of existing that anything will actually change. Right? So here's the thing though. We have these desires to change, right? We have these things in our life, these habits that don't serve us. And it could be anything, like literally anything. Okay, it could be anything. It's the awareness to identify what is happening that will make it or break it. Okay, so if we just continue on, and I hope that is what this little short video today does for you. And I hope that these manifested Mondays continue to plant these seeds, and like just planting these seeds of awareness, right? These little, I wonder, I should, I've never thought of that like that before. That's what I want here. Okay. So it's the awareness to identify what is happening that will make it or break it. Okay. So if I would have just continued to accept this idea of I'm just somebody who has bad teeth, period. Like somebody who just like, my teeth suck, blaming it on outside situations. I have bad genetics, like the toothpaste doesn't work, like whatever it is, right? Continuing to put it on other people. And again, turn this teeth situation onto like whatever you're working on. If we continue to put these reasons on someone else, we're just putting a Band-Aid on the problem. right? It's us, it's our awareness, it's our assumptions. I love the book, The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, one of my favorite books. I throw it on whenever I need a little, I'm just like, oh, curious, wonder what I need to hear right now. It's always exactly what I need to hear. I love that book. The Power of Awareness. Okay, the power of awareness. It's not until we have this new awareness that we can actually identify, hey, what's happening? Like, hey, that's an old belief. Is that something that I want to continue to identify through? So cool, right? I mean, I think it's really cool that we get to choose. And then when we broaden our awareness like this, we can actually play with the law of assumption, and we can begin to ask ourselves, what are we assuming? What are we assuming? So since we were, that moment when we were conceived, like the very beginning, we have been collecting information, collecting data, collecting habits, collecting identities, okay, patterns, beliefs, thoughts, all the things, right? From our parents, caretakers, teachers, people around us, whatever, right? So this is called our paradigm. This is basically how we've been coded, how we've been programmed. Okay, and we can now, maybe even now from this little short video, you have this awareness that, hey, or maybe even a seed has been planted. I don't need to continue to allow these old ways of existing, these old thoughts or beliefs to derail me or to be part of my identity. Okay, so I was just speaking about this morning with my students in Transform. Of course, these old beliefs are going to come up, especially when we start to recreate ourselves. So this isn't your average talk on habits, right? This is something a little bit unique, a little bit different. But I hope you're kind of understanding a little bit of what I'm saying here. Okay, if we are doing something new, if we are changing, or we have this desire to change the way we exist in the world, change these habits that we have, change parts of our identity. Okay, if we want to change part of ourselves, it's new territory. We've never been here before. We've never been here before. So of course, there's going to be new things, new thoughts, new ways of existing that are going to come up. But with those new things are going to bring up all the old things. So the old beliefs, the old patterns, the old paradigm is going to come up. Okay, it's going to come up and try to derail us. It's going to say, or it's like our tendencies, for example, going back to the teeth. My old way of existing was, oh, I'm too tired tonight. I'm not going to floss my teeth tonight. That's old. I'm no longer that person because I chose, okay? And it might sound like not a big deal to you guys, but honestly, if you are wanting to change a habit, what is that saying? It's like it takes 21 days to change a habit. I don't even know, but you need to be consistent and persistent. You need to be completely committed to your desire, right? My desire was to change these old habits and this old belief that I was somebody who had bad teeth, right? I understood that I didn't need to continue to recreate that identity. So I developed a new identity around it. I then developed new habits around it. And so those old beliefs, yeah, of course they come up sometimes. Let's say, oh, I don't need to brush my teeth. It's okay. I'll just chew a piece of gum after I eat anyway. That's an old thing, right? That's not how somebody behaves when they have very great teeth. Does that make sense? Okay. So we've never been here before. If these habits and things don't come up, if these questions don't come up, if these like thoughts and old beliefs and like things that try to challenge what we're doing don't come up, we might want to reconsider. We might want to reconsider because again, we were talking about this today on Transform. This week is all about goal setting. We're really talking about making some big, we call it C-type goals. C-type goals are something that stretches you. You've never been there before. These are goals that are not logical. They don't make sense to most people and even to ourselves. And so if we don't have these, if we are really truly doing something that's new, we're going to have these old thoughts, these old tendencies, these old habits come up. Okay, it's just reality, but it's the awareness, this awareness that we can develop, that we get to then say, hey, I don't know if I believe that anymore. Or we get to say, where did that belief even come from? Right? Where did that even come from? Do I believe that? Do I identify through that anymore? Our conscious mind has the ability to question. It has the ability to accept or reject any idea. Most of us go around through our day, through our life, just accepting everything we see. We're accepting everything we see on social media. We're accepting every idea somebody tells us. We take on other people's ideas and energies all day long. Okay, and that's why we feel overwhelmed. That's why we don't have solid goals and don't know where we're going. That's why we, everything stays the same. Hey, Rach. Okay, that's interesting, right? But we don't do that. We don't do that anymore. We don't identify through other people's perceptions of us, right? So I lost my train of thought there for a second. If we have never, hold on one second. Oh, I can't remember. So I was talking about C-type goals. I was talking about what comes up when we have these C-type goals and these old beliefs, these old ways of living, these old ways of surviving. If we don't have these things that are coming up that are challenging us, we are not making big enough goals. Okay, I can't remember where I was there, but all is good. Okay, so I hope this little chat on habits maybe sparked a new like awareness in yourself. And so it's all about the awareness. It is all about the awareness. It's about the ability to, that's what I was talking about, the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind can accept or reject. It's all about choosing. Do I accept this idea? Do I accept this as truth or do I reject it? Because our subconscious mind is our spiritual mind. It's our emotional mind. It's our more feminine way of existing. Our subconscious mind can only accept. Okay, so what that means is that if we encounter an old habit or an old belief, we can choose, do we accept or reject this idea? Do I accept or reject this? Where did this come from? But we have this reasoning ability through our higher faculties, right? But if we don't accept or choose to accept or reject it, we're just accepting it all day long and continuing to create more of the same. Identifying through our 3D physical world, which is an old manifestation, right? We want to be creating thoughts from the inside first, even like recreating ourselves, asking ourselves, is this who I am here to be? Is this who I am here to exist as? I get to choose. I get to choose my identity, and I can kind of construct or reevaluate, consider in any moment, right? I can change my own habits. I can change my own identity through these habits at any point, right? Interesting stuff. So you guys, I'm going to be live on each Monday, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Facebook, the brand page, Jocelyn Dawn, and Instagram at Jocelyn Dawn. And then I will be on YouTube as well. So follow along. Each week has a different topic. Like I said, it's just a topic that is currently keeping me awake at night, journaling until the middle of the night. I love sharing this with you. So to close, you guys, I have a really exciting opportunity for you. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's an opportunity to learn more from me for free. Okay, I'm so excited about it. It's going to be such a huge catalyst for so many people. So you're going to keep your eyes on these pages. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it today, and then it's going to be live and open for registration. Again, it is free, F-E-R-E-E, okay? So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for being on live with me. Say hi in the comments if you didn't already. Tell me where you're watching from. I am so, so excited and happy and grateful to be here. So have an amazing day, you guys. See you later.